I love my HBCU. And boy, I love it, love it. I love it, love it. I love my HBCU. And man, I hope my team they won one. I hope my team they won one. Yeah, man. I hope my team they won one. I hope my team they won one. I tune into the HBCU Sports Lab to see if my team won or lost. If they lost, I'm quiet as a mouse. But if they won, keep tab. I'ma do the dab, yeah. Dr. Cavil, he know what he be talking about. Mike and Charles, they know what they be talking about. They compress the analytic data with the hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they won or lost, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
This is Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab, episode 607. Happy New Year to all, and I have my man Tariq Wilson. Reek, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. How was your holidays?
It was very good. Went to Hampton. Actually saw Hampton beat Howard, so that started the holidays off right, and been chilling.
We will definitely get into those games because my guys had a pretty good victory as well on that day on the 28th, because I want to talk about that event as a whole. We'll probably have a whole segment on that event. Jeff will be with us shortly, and maybe we'll see Brandon King if he can get away from his kids. We're going to see. But I hope you guys had a happy holidays and a Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. And I hope you guys are enjoying the new year as this is the first day of 2025. Welcome to episode 607 of Inside the HBCU Sports Lab radio show and podcast, the show that covering the HBCU sport and diaspora, all things HBCU sports from institutions large and small, from the NAIA and to the NCAA. We share insights and information on the HBCU sports culture and HBCU athletic aesthetics to facilitate the story of HBCU athletic programs and the business of HBCU sports. I'm your host, David Rhodes, with Tariq Wilson. We're filming from our home studios to send the signal live to our KCUH 1230 AM studios with the Texas Radio Hall of Famer Ralph Cooper in the beautiful home of Texas Southern University from Houston, Texas. So, do you got any interesting news? We're going to get into the coaching hires in another segment because I want to assess. We had a lot of new hires. We did not have a Christmas episode. So, any other interesting news that's been going on the HBCU front?
Yeah, I think we touched on this the last time we were on, at least I was on, and, all the MEAC rumors with Hampton going back to the MEAC potentially, and A&T going back to the MEAC potentially. So, I checked with my Hampton sources, and they said there is no interest in returning to the MEAC. So that's been my story. So, I think I wish Jeff was here too. So we both cross-checked different sources, and there's no interest. Now, we've heard that there's interest from the other way, but not from Hampton's perspective. So I think, in our last podcast, we talked about it too. We like to stay in the MEAC. I mean, even looking now, we're playing. Staying in the CAA. Yeah, I mean, we're playing, a pretty robust schedule, of HBCU. So we can keep that going and then still try and compete, and have a little bit more recognition. Then I like to stay that route. So, but that's my news story, at least from Hampton's perspective.
To
Hamptonians.
To piggyback that, because like you said, there was speculation of A&T going back to the MEAC as well. We've been approached numerous times about returning, and as of late, there was an alumni base that had an interest of returning, but from what I understand, based on the sources that I've talked to, is that door is closed again. Mm-hmm. Because I think it ultimately boils down to it's about alumni and administrations being on the same page, and as of right now, the administration has no interest in returning. Now, I mean, I think this might have been one of the situations where they were just trying to utilize the momentum that they had with regards of the previous head coach being let go. And they were just trying to push the momentum further. Right. But I think, and the way I explained it to some folks, and I have no problem being open saying it here, when they made the decision regarding the previous head coach, it was based on data. It was data driven. Because our chancellor was very analytical when it comes to that, and so if you don't have the data to back up the reasons of returning, there really isn't. You kind of ain't got much to stand on.
So you're trying to tell me vibes aren't enough to go back?
No. Okay. No.
Seems like people operate on vibes, man.
Yeah, man. And it was funny because that was the running joke was, why are we going back? For the vibes. That was the
Right.
running joke.
Okay.
I was open to returning football only. I just understood why we made the decision to leave in the first place, and a lot of it had nothing to do with football.
Right.
So it's there's other factors involved with regards to that. I know we weren't going to talk about coaching hires, but we're going to talk about one real fast because this is kind of late breaking. Let me just make sure I get his name right. Greg Ruffin, who just accepted the position at Shaw. Well, he's declining the position now. He's not going to coach for Shaw. So Shaw's back on the market, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of folks who would love to go coach that program. So it'll be interesting to see what's next for Shaw, and I hope everything works out. I guess it was medical reasons of why Coach Ruffin made the decision to step away from the position.
Yeah, I saw that. I you have no choice but to believe him. But that's a tough job.
Oh, I
I
believe
mean,
it.
it's a great job, but it's a tough job, man. You you got to bring it there, man, because there's so many shortcomings, and it's But yeah, I roll down to that a couple games, Shaw games a year because they play in Durham County Stadium. It's about 10,
Mhm.
15 minutes, so I roll down there and watch him. But yeah, there's a lot to be done there. But I hope he's well. Hope his health does recover.
Yeah, and besides the fact that you're talking about the area with all those other universities right around that area, so you're in a recruiting bed over there as it is. So it makes it difficult to get players over there as well. When you got to compete with the school down the road, you got to compete with you got to compete with UNC, Duke, and all the other institutions that are within that area. So it makes it difficult. But they've had success there, and there'll definitely be a coach. There'll be coaches out there that would be willing to take that position. And we do have Jeff Johnson here. How you doing, sir?
Whew. So I figured it out. I had my speaker on mute the whole time.
Yeah,
Oh.
Yeah, that's what happens, man.
So we talked about before you arrived. We talked about the speculation about us A&T and Hampton returning to the MEAC. I guess we wanted to get your perspective from a Hampton's perspective because Tariq talked about his sources. We wanted to get it from your perspective as well.
Well, I would just say this. I did hear from a very high source, and that source flat out said that there is absolutely no interest. I mean, he said that never say never. Never say never. But for the vast majority of Hamptonians, they're okay with where they are, and we're good. I mean, now that's more of an A&T thing. So my opinion is, I like playing our little 4 HBCUs a year, and I'm kind of interested in seeing us play like a Maine or Villanova, because that's opportunity for me to go see other institutions. So I'm good with it.
Yeah, I'm probably going to take that trek up to Maine this year. We're playing Maine in Maine this season, so I might take that ride up there this year. It's probably about a 4-hour drive for me, so I might take that ride up there. So
That'd be like a scenic ride too. I mean, through the country.
Oh yeah, it is. Oh, I've been to Maine before, man. I had a buddy that was a professional MMA fighter. He had a title fight up there. He was in Lewiston, Maine. So I drove up there to go catch the title fight. It was me, him, his dad, and his trainer were the only black people in that room. But he won the fight, and he got the title, and he left. And he escaped. I called it escaping. He escaped. But I will say I was amazed. Like considering, I was amazed at how that crowd was. Like it was a pretty good crowd in Maine, man. I will say that. I was kind of shocked at how good of a crowd it was. But that was when MMA, you had a lot of different circuits going on. You had a lot of different folks having matches and fights in local towns. Because even like in my hometown of Columbia, South Carolina, they used to do a fight every 2 months. So it was pretty interesting to say the least. But yeah, man. So, and we talked about Greg Ruffin as well, making a decision to not take the Shaw job due to medical reasons, due to health reasons. So I don't know if you have any perspective on that before we go to our first break.
Nah.
Okay. Sean, speaking of that first break, when we come back, we're going to go over some of these coaching hires. We didn't have a Christmas episode, but there was a lot of hires that occurred over the last week or so, and we'll go over it. We'll put some grades on it. I'm turning my head watching to see if Oregon actually has a life. So far, they have not.
Is it still the same score?
It's 34-8.
34-8.
Yeah.
Like I missed when Oregon scored because when I saw it, it was 34-0.
Yeah.
But anywho, we'll be back. This is episode 607 of Inside HBCU Sports Lab. We will be right back right after the break.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavil of Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavil's Inside HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
It's like a loop machine. All around town, trying to get down. It's like a loop machine.
You're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics. There's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
Looking for the ultimate cultural experience of 2025? The Zora Outdoor Festival of the Arts is where you need to be. From January 31st to February 2nd, Eatonville, Florida will come alive with incredible live performances from the Levert Experience and the Bar Cave. Immerse yourself in interactive art. Shop from over 80 vendors. Take a journey through history with a new virtual tour app. And enjoy family-friendly STEM activities. Plus, don't miss the unforgettable R&B tribute to the legends, honoring talents such as Whitney Houston, Marvin Gaye, and Luther Vandross. This is more than a festival. It's a celebration of Eatonville's rich cultural heritage. Visit zorafestival.org for tickets.
Compress the analytic data with your hip-hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they wanna lose, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
Welcome back to episode 607 of Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Jeff Johnson and Tariq Wilson. Let's see here, man. Let's go over. Let's talk about some of these coaches a little bit. We've gotten a couple more hires. There's some that we just really didn't discuss as much. We'll start with the Division two hires up until this point. I think right now at this point we've only had one. It was two, but now it's one. Adrian Jones went from Shaw to Elizabeth City State. What are your thoughts on the hire? We'll start with you, Jeff.
I'm kind of lukewarm on it. You know, I do like him as a coach. I mean, I wouldn't consider it more of a step up. Kind of seems like more of a lateral move to me. So just kind of like there's no juice for me, and I don't think there's no juice for the program on that one.
Yeah, it was very there was talks that maybe he might take an assistant's job in some other institutions. So when he immediately got that gig at Elizabeth City State, I was like, okay, you know, he was sick. He did go 6-4 last year with Shaw. Yeah, before getting let go, but I still was like, what is it really going to do?
Nothing.
I mean, but we'll see. I mean, you know, it's the CIAA. I mean, the South. The South. You got a lot of teams within the South that are emerging. So we'll see, but I'm not. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not sure about it. I'll probably, you know, I'm in the C range in that grade for regards for me.
Pretty much.
Yeah. What do you think, Tariq?
I got to say, I mean, I've been watching the Shaw coach for a couple years. You know what you're going to get. It seems like I wonder if ECSU has more resources than Shaw. I mean, that seems how he could improve things.
Yeah.
But that's the only way. You know, just small resources can go a long way. You know, I was talking to a coach, CIAA coach, and just a couple more scholarships goes a long way as far as like increasing talent and stuff like that. So if they can give the dude some more resources, he can do well, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, Elizabeth City State, they're a growing institution. Their enrollment has been growing at a pretty fast pace. I can't recall who's the current chancellor right now at Elizabeth City. I know the previous chancellor is not a chancellor at the school down the road, and she was known for growing enrollment, and she did a phenomenal job there while she was at ECSU.
Yeah.
The next coach up, since we don't have any more Division II coaches as of right now, Lane is still looking for somebody. Now Shaw's looking for somebody. I don't think I'm missing it. Oh, Fort Valley still hasn't officially hired their coach yet. So we're still trying to hear what's going to be next up with regards to that. But let's get into Division I athletics. And this is the question of the day. I think it's way more complicated in Valley than folks realize in the parade.
Yeah.
I will say that.
Yeah.
Because you want to talk about a tough job.
You saw their former head coach now is at Mississippi State now.
Yes. Vincent Dancy went from Colorado to now he's an assistant at Mississippi State.
Yeah.
So he got to go home. So good for him. Shout out to him.
No, absolutely. So no, I look at Mississippi Valley State program as I think they need to have some hard questions or answer some hard questions now. I mean, the SIAC might be the move for them.
I don't know. It's funny you say that because that was the whole talk of the town on Twitter, with social media, and you could question it could be more expensive for them. I mean, SIAC, it's all the way up in Ohio, man. Like if you take everything into account, it might be better for them for football, maybe, but what about the rest of the sports? I don't know. It's tough. It's a tough situation for them. Like now the budget situation is a whole different thing. I wouldn't be mad if Cornell went to Shaw. We'll get a Division I.
Don't do that.
No, I wouldn't be mad at it. It'd be fun.
No,
it would be fun.
It would be fun.
It would be fun.
And maybe Shaw, and that's what Shaw needs right now. Some good old fun.
No, that's a huge step down for him. No, he ain't taking Shaw.
You think he's going to Valley?
He can do Fort Valley.
Not Fort Valley. Mississippi Valley.
I think the Shaw job is better than Mississippi Valley State, actually.
No, I don't think Shaw's a good fit for him, even though that is CIAA territory. I think Connell Manor kind of needs a base. Fort Valley State has a better base than I would say Shaw.
That's fair.
I don't know. Just from what he used to do at Hampton, he used to park his little Benz in front of the office all the time. So, I don't think that will fit well down there in Fort Valley. So, but if he goes to Shaw, he'll probably be the king.
He can win at Shaw, right? And then he can parlay it into a bigger job down the road.
Yeah,
and he knows North Carolina like the back of his hand.
Yeah,
and people still love him here. So
yeah.
But
he got to win quick though.
Aggies love him, man. A lot of Aggies still love that man. Every single time a job opens up, that's the first person that's mentioned.
He can jump right into the portal. He can jump right into the portal. But the problem with Manor is
absolutely
he don't coach a whole team.
No,
like he don't care about all the details. It doesn't seem. It doesn't seem.
It doesn't appear that he
doesn't appear that he cares about everything else. So
he recruits 2 players: quarterback, running back. That's it. Quarterback, running back. He don't care about nothing else. Offensive line was a hodgepodge. We had a 6'8" tackle and a 5'10" center.
Speaking of Connor Maynard in his previous position, next coach Sam Shade. He's a new coach at Alabama A&M.
I love that name, man. It sounds like a blaxploitation name is. Sam Shade. I love that name, man.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
Sam Shade.
And
I love that hire.
Miles looking for a coach because that's where he came from as well. He came from Miles College, so he's looking for.
Yeah.
So they're looking for a coach as well.
Yeah.
So Sam Shade, outstanding job he did at Miles College. There was a lot of talks of a lot of other folks that was in the loop for this job. I felt like as soon as they let Connell Maynard go, I said the only correct answer is Sam Shade.
Yeah.
There was a potential of potentially having another former NFL hire here, but truth be told, Sam Shade is a former NFL player as well. But he actually just so happens he has coaching experience.
He doesn't pop off at the mouth.
Yeah, well, I mean, it all depends. We're gonna get into those guys very soon. I love the hire. The hire by Alabama A&M here with Sam Shade.
Sam Shade went one. So they started off 1-9. You got them into a 10-3 record. So I mean, he knows how to turn a program around, and I think he's pretty much on par for what A&M needs. You know, they need a stable person. You know, they don't need shows. They just need a guy. I would say they need a more steady Eddie at their program.
And he can coach it. He can coach some defenses, man. I can tell you that. That defense at Miles was legit. I'll tell you. What are your thoughts, Reek?
I like it. Good deal. Good, solid hire. No nonsense.
Yeah.
No
That's
nonsense.
what they need.
Yeah.
Home run hire, in my opinion, man.
Yeah.
Home run hire here.
Yeah. And they're quiet enough that I think they can make noise, you know.
Yep. Now somebody said they should have went with Dooley. Y'all just want those guys to not excel, man. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that, AJ.
The only thing I remember about Dooley is his ascot, right? Or does he wear that little tie? That's the only thing I can remember about that dude.
He cares more about what he's wearing than what he actually coaching.
Yeah, so the next coach up, we're gonna go ahead and start with these former NFL hires. I want to make sure I don't miss anybody. Or did we talk about Tremaine Jackson? Tremaine Jackson, the Prairie View, was another home run hire I liked as well.
Yeah.
Before we get into the NFL guys.
Yeah, that's the former Valdosta State coach, right?
Yep. Right after the national championship game, the announcement was he was heading to Prairie View. That was already kind of pretty much a done deal, probably a week or so prior.
He couldn't have did better than that, though. I mean, the D2 national title.
But considering that he's a Texas Southern alumnus, he gets to go home.
Yeah.
Prairie View look, man, they got the facilities and the resources there. So it'll be fascinating to see what he does there. Yeah. The SWAC West is wide open.
Yeah.
Like the West is wide open. Like contrary to what people think, a lot of folks didn't pick Southern to win the West.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of folks didn't pick them to win the West. A lot of folks, a lot of folks pick Prairie View, and a lot of folks pick Alcorn.
Yeah.
So West is wide open.
Yeah.
Do I think he can come in there and win the West after 1 year? Probably not.
Yeah.
Because he's going to have to do some rebuilding. I mean, because Prairie View was disappointing this year. Part of the reason why they made the decision to not renew Bubba McDowell's contract.
I still don't. I mean, I get it. Unless if they knew that he was coming in, yeah, I get it. But for the most part, I thought McDowell was pretty steady there.
Yeah, but now I think they might have gotten an upgrade. I think Tremaine Jackson's a heck of a coach.
No, I agree. That's tremendous.
Yeah. I love this hire as well. So it'll be fascinating to see this is the type of hire that absolutely shows that they want to get to the Celebration Bowl.
Yeah.
This is that type of hire.
Yeah.
So
those two hires that we just saw with Shade and with Jackson, you know, that kind of shows me that SWAC is really serious about, you know, bringing in quality coaches.
Absolutely. Like I completely agree there. Like the coaching hierarchy is changing.
Yeah.
And it's kind of wild because when we get into the two MEAC hires, you know, because normally you would put that with the other conference with the SWAC.
Yeah.
But they don't. But to be fair, they've only had one, right? But still, it was D1.
Yeah.
Right.
But that being said, the next hire we could talk about, we talked about Vic a little bit right prior to Christmas. We can now that we've seen the presser. Did you watch the presser? What are your thoughts about the presser? I thought it was a good fit for Norfolk State considering the circumstances of that football program as a whole.
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, it's a low risk for them.
Yeah.
From my perspective. I think the 7-5-7 is about to get gated up. But I think an outstanding hire, to say the least, for Norfolk State. The only critique I'm going to give is that they just need to be prepared for the media blitz that they're going to have and all the social media. Like if you make the decision to hire somebody like a Michael Vick, you need to be on it with regards to your social media, media team, the whole nine when it comes to that. I just want them to be ready to leverage this as much as possible. It looks like they already got jerseys coming, so that's a good start.
Yeah,
they're gonna have 7 jerseys with Norfolk State. I want mine on pre-order when it shows up too.
Nah, I'm never.
No, you're not. I know you two ain't. You guys got things that y'all just can't wear, and I respect that.
Yeah.
I got things I don't wear either.
Norfolk State jersey, like I would keep it in my trunk, in my car. So if I get stuck in the ditch, I will put it down there for traction under the tire. Like that's what I would do with that jersey.
You know what though? I do have Norfolk State toilet paper though. So.
And you know what? Usually probably rip on you. So.
That's what they do.
That's what it's like.
Oh my God, guys!
Just keeping it real.
But overall,
I think they'll be fine with it. I think it's gonna go well. But he's never really coached, right?
No.
So he's gonna stumble. He's gonna bump. Knock some stuff over. He's gonna make some big mistakes. That's just gonna be with the territory. But he seems like a good dude by all accounts, and he'll do well that way.
I will give him the credit because he still is tapped into a lot of the high schools within the area. He came under Tommy Riemann, and Tommy Riemann is a legend within the 757 community. And even though he's not coaching anymore, Riemann still has a huge status around the 757. So if Vic brings in, I would say, quality assistants that can recruit and kind of help him get his feet wet, then I think I'm not going to call it a home run, but I would say it's more of a step up from what they've had. But now let's keep it real. Odoms was a great coach. He just didn't have no resources. And Hamptonian that we had there, he was a quality coach at Richmond. So, what is Norfolk State going to do to kind of help Vic, I would say, build the program? So.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a slow. I'm hoping more folks compare this to Eddie George versus Deion.
Yeah.
That's I agree with that.
I think Norfolk State got nothing but time. I mean, they've never won a MEAC football championship. Well, they've won one, but it was vacated. So I think they got nothing but time.
Yeah.
So and I think it's going to energize the fan base. I think it's gonna put more eyeballs. You guys play them every year.
Yeah.
So that's going to be fascinating when you guys when you play them in Norfolk and when he comes to Hampton. We play Norfolk State in Greensboro in 2026. So it's going to be fascinating to see the pageantry with regard to that. And I pray to God they don't make that game homecoming.
Do you think there's going to be a lot of protesters walking into that stadium?
No.
Well, they all on their Facebook pages though.
We're gonna see. I mean, and if they show up, they show up. Like,
man,
whatever.
Those fools ain't going. They ain't going down to Norfolk State campus. No, I know it's improved, but they ain't going down there.
They're not stepping on the HBCU campus like that.
They might. I mean, they might show up. I mean, it's possible. Look, man. Protesting is part of the game, right? I get it.
Yeah.
Like, it's part of the deal. Like, it is what it is. I mean, we've had protests at A&T for some of the craziest stuff ever. And then you talk to them, you ask them questions, and you realize, all right, carry on. Like, it's like we have folks on the yard during homecoming, doing Jiho.
Yeah, that's
like whatever. Like y'all ain't gonna mess with the party. You ain't messing up my day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the next coach up. This happened last week. Deshaun Jackson to Delaware State.
Yeah.
I will say. It was fascinating when I heard the hire.
Yeah.
But it looks like the man's recruiting.
He is.
Let me ask y'all a question. Like,
he's actually coaching high school, to be fair to Deshaun.
Oh, he has? Okay. I like the Vic conversation, I could understand how that went. Like, I understand But like Deshaun, like who made the call and who asked him and how did he respond? Like,
Yeah.
what am I trying to say? Like Deshaun Jackson is he don't see him. Hey Deshaun, do you want the job? Oh yeah, I'll take it. Like, what makes you have that phone call and
Yeah.
and push that through the process? Like, because it didn't seem like he was ready for that kind of job. You know what I'm saying? He didn't carry himself that like Vic, if you talk to Vic, like, okay, I could see that. But I couldn't see it with Deshaun Jackson. That's maybe I'm just, my
No.
myopia, but it didn't seem like he was ready for that kind of job.
No, I agree because, Deshaun Jackson still kind of, he has a lot of rough edges around.
Yeah, that's what
You see the podcast, curse words flow freely.
Well, I mean, a lot of coaches cuss.
Yeah.
So I ain't too concerned about that.
Yeah.
I'm not concerned about that.
Yeah.
I think the big thing with the hire, when I know initially when it was announced, folks was trying to like poo-poo it, but I was like, wait a minute, guys. The man played for the Eagles for a long time.
Yeah.
He's got Philadelphia ties. Philly ain't that far from Dover.
Yeah, that's right. Dover is almost a suburb of Philly.
Yeah. Philly ain't that far from Dover. He's got LA ties. He's from that area.
Well, we know he got LA ties.
Listen, we're not gonna get into that. We ain't gonna get into that today. We're not. But I say my point is that he's gonna have some ability to recruit out there and get some folks from LA over there. He's already doing things. He already picked up Antonio Gates' son.
Yeah,
he recruited him. He got him out of Michigan State, and he's coming to Delaware State. So So what I want to see out of so far so good from my perspective. I like the hire. It goes back to. It's back to what I said about Vic, another low risk hire. We're talking about a team that's only won one MEAC football championship.
Yeah.
So when you go into that, you can take you can be willing to take these type of risks. And based on reports, there was another person they were going after that was bigger than him. And that was Chris Carter.
Yeah.
So, I think they wanted to go with the ex-NFL player hire, and there's nothing wrong with that. I just think that you just need to ask yourself what the expectation is.
Yeah.
So they had a plan in place. Like Adam said, they had a plan. Yeah. They had a plan of attack.
Yeah.
Because it looks like it was clear they was trying to go after ex-NFL players.
Yeah.
Did anybody go to the stadium before they interviewed and talked to him first?
They need a whole injection of just interest. So, I kind of feel like that's what this was. And, get people, just look at the program, and hopefully that's what it is.
I think it's going to be a much better fit than folks are going to give it credit for because of the Philadelphia tie. So I'm going to be fascinated to see how this pans out at Delaware State, and it's going to make the MEAC fascinating, man. Like you're talking about now, you got listen to these personalities you got in this conference. Now you got Vic, you got Deshaun Jackson, you already got Chennis Berry, you got Trey Oliver, you got all these personalities in this conference now. All that media day is going to be bananas. Bananas, I'll tell you.
Yeah,
that's true.
Well, but you know what though? I was like, even though this is a new guard for the MEAC, I can definitely appreciate it because it's something that will hopefully draw more interest. It's like because it's always the old guard, South Carolina State, North Carolina Central. Kind of we've been here, done that before, so. Hopefully they can inject something new into the conversation.
One of those teams is going to stop the top three from winning that title.
Nah.
Somebody I'm not going to say they're going to win the MEAC.
Yeah.
I'm saying one of the normal teams that you expect to be there at the Celebration Bowl is going to get clipped by one of those teams.
Yeah.
They're going to get clipped.
I can see that quicker probably with Norfolk State because they still have guys, real guys on that team that are really good. It's just that
they got good facilities too, or better facilities.
Yep.
So
yeah, I can see that more with Norfolk State more so than Delaware at the moment. But no, I definitely agree.
Yeah, I mean it's going to energize the fan base, and that's what the bottom line for those two institutions from a fan base perspective, that's what you want.
Yeah.
Like,
when we come back from this break, I got to address this Lennon dude.
All right, I guess you're telling me to take a break, so we will take a break. We will be right back from Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Jeff is going to address Lennon, and we'll talk about the HBCU basketball showcase that happened on CBS over the weekend. So we'll be back.
Ryan Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Lab. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Lab, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
Looking for the ultimate cultural experience of 2025? The Zora Outdoor Festival of the Arts is where you need to be. From January 31st to February 2nd, Eatonville, Florida will come alive with incredible live performances from the Levert Experience and the Bar Cave. Immerse yourself in interactive art. Shop from over 80 vendors. Take a journey through history with a new virtual tour app. And enjoy family-friendly STEM activities. Plus, don't miss the unforgettable R&B tribute to the legends, honoring talents such as Whitney Houston, Marvin Gaye, and Luther Vandross. This is more than a festival. It's a celebration of Eatonville's rich cultural heritage. Visit zorafestival.org for tickets.
The human voice has always connected audiences with experiences. Major brands all across America have trusted Kever's voice time and time again. Conversational, powerhouse, intelligent, and sincere. That's the voice you need for your creative marketing process. KeversVoice.com. Kever's Voice, Kever's Voice, KeversVoice.com. Always on, all the time.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Sonia from She Say Sports. Make sure to check us out every Friday morning at 9 a.m. on Black College Sports Network, YouTube, and Linktree. And please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page.
Compress the analytic data with your hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they wanna lose, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
This is Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab, the Ending Report, episode 607. All right, man, let's talk. I actually had the thrill to go to the game, to one of the games of the HBCU showcase that was live on CBS. I went to A&T in the school down the road, the Aggie Eagle Classic. Contrary to what the commentator said, I could tell you a funny story about that. Coach Lavelle Moen was over there talking to the commentators prior to the game. Flipped it to Eagle Aggie Classic, and I was like, "Touche, my brother, touche." I can't be mad at that. I can't be mad at that.
What now?
So, whenever we play that school down the road, it's known as the Aggie Eagle Classic.
Yeah.
They would like to call it. They always like to flip it. And so during and shout out to Lavelle, man. I can't be mad at that. I can't be mad at it. I didn't realize it till I went back and watched the game and saw it on Twitter, and I was like, shout out to him, man, because that's A+ rivalry stuff right there. I can't be mad at that.
That's how it's done.
That is how it's done. That is exactly how it's done. So shout out to him. But he didn't get the result he wanted.
Yeah.
A&T pretty much dominated the game for the most part. Like halfway through the second half, once they got the lead, they didn't give it up. They led up to 20 at one point.
Yeah.
They ended up winning by 13.
Yeah.
So,
Now, this is the type of game where I was like, we've been expecting A&T to play for the whole season. We're like, where has this team been? Because I watched a couple other games, and I'm like, that wasn't the same team that we saw. So, either you got up for Central or it was a total change in game plans because
I think that part of it was we won an 8-game losing streak part of that game, by the way, guys.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, now to be fair, and it's funny.
It doesn't feel like it, right? It
felt like it, sir. It definitely felt like it. No, it felt like it.
Night and day. That game, night and day.
I tell folks all the time, when Glasper's on, it's going to be a long day for you. It's going to be a long night. It's going to be if Glasper's on, it's a long night. Then with Forrest on, long night, guys. It's just and the thing is, the big thing, Landon Glasper had 25 points. Ryan Forrest had 30. Nick Chitakutis, he had 22 boards, 9 points, 22 boards. So we had a full on game, but we're still on a 7-man rotation right now. So you got to take that into account as well. So, but we lost 8 straight games. We did have a tough schedule, to be fair, but nevertheless, there were some games we had a chance to win. But I think the big key going into conference play, because we play Elon tomorrow, the big key is playing together, and I think that was the thing that they had to figure out, and I think they finally figured it out.
Yeah.
And when you play together, this is what you get.
Yeah.
13-point win against your rival.
A lot of those rebounds didn't go right back to the basket. It went right back out, which that was another difference that I saw this game as compared to some of the other games that I've seen. So definitely a lot more ball movement, and the fast breaks weren't, I forgot the center that you guys have, who's always like, talk like, no, we're gonna figure out another way to get you the ball. We're not always lobbing anything. So different.
Yeah, they're a small team, man. Like our center in essence is Chitakutis. Like we don't have too many. Like we don't have. And he's a forward, really. Like he should be playing forward.
Yeah.
Like
was he 6'8", 6'9"?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
From Greece.
Yeah.
What that 7-man rotation, is that because of injuries or talent?
Yeah, injuries.
Okay.
Like we already lost. His name escapes me right now. He's torn his ACL. This is like 3rd year in a row he's torn ACL.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Now is that?
I can't remember his name right now. His name escapes me right now, but
yeah.
But yeah, he got hurt during out of conference play. He actually played this year though. Like last year, he got hurt during scrimmage. He was done for the season. So I'm gonna remember his name after the show's over because that's typically how it goes. But either way, I mean, it was good. I was at the game, really good environment. We had over 4,000 people at Club Corbett, so it was rocking in there. Considering there was no students, I mean, it was rocking in there, man. So it was pretty good. I can't complain one bit with regards to the atmosphere and things of that sort. Really good game. Glad we eked it out. My man called him fake Jokic. We got Chitakutis from Greece, Nick Chitakutis. But
he's not that bad. He's a pretty decent rebounder. I mean, he's all right.
He can rebound. I would like him to be more aggressive, but I think, but when you get 20 rebounds in the game, who am I to tell you to be more aggressive, right?
Yeah.
But I love what I saw out of him, and that's what we're gonna need in conference play starting tomorrow against Elon.
It's interesting watching your AD holding behind the bench the whole time. Does he normally? Because I've seen a couple games, he's like pretty animated back there. Is he normally?
Oh no, he cares, man. He cares. He wants to win. He cares. He goes to as many games as he can.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you got to, he'll show up at a volleyball game. He'll show up where if there's a sporting event, you're gonna see his face.
Yeah.
Like
because our former ADs, they were walking on the field, or the president would come down from the box to the floor. It was kind of like dicey. But speaking of, I would say our game when we played Howard, we haven't had a winning record going into conference play since, was it 2019? Or was it?
No, I think longer than that. I think it said 2011 or something. A long time.
That is,
it's almost 10 years. Yeah. So that, and if you think about it, if Jordan was a coach, like now, let's say with this team, we're 8-5 now.
We'd be 5-8.
What? 3-9.
5-8.
Yeah. 3-9. And then we'd probably won maybe like 4 games, made it to 7-9, then lost another 4. And then probably made it up later in this season, just enough to say, all right, well, he should stay. He'll just give him another year. But no, this is what I would say experienced coaching looks like, So, we pretty much did what we needed to do against Howard.
Yeah, I was at that game too, and it was a line to get in, which I came in the last time I saw that at the Convocation Center. So there was a lot of excitement for the game. But I just like watching the team play. Like they run good stuff.
Yeah.
And they have really good guards.
Yeah.
And they play well. But the thing that's been a shock is like the young big men that we have. Like they're really athletic.
Yeah.
Almost too athletic. So you start worrying like, all right, how long are we gonna have these guys?
Yeah, that's the new thing. That's what we're afraid of now. It's like the freshman kid, Johnson. We're like,
man.
We're like, look, dude, you ball, but don't ball too much.
No. I mean, look, listen. Here's my thing, man. The thing that so Glassford went into the portal after the season last year.
Yeah.
We had to get the NIL money to get him to come back here.
Yeah.
Like that's the game that we're in right now. Like that's just what it is. Like you can't expect your team to you don't want your team to be bad at the expense of worrying about losing people. Like you can't, like that like you can't do that. Now what we have to do is we just got to get somebody in there that can recruit. Like we picked up Brooklyn Vic. We beat out Syracuse to get Brooklyn Vic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For next year. So like you just got to compete and beat out these schools. Like because we do have something that other schools cannot say what they have, man. We do have that, but we also have to understand that that's just not going to be enough anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? And I think that's going to be the challenge. With regards to that. But now, man, I listened to y'all game on the ride back because as soon as the game ended in Greensboro, I headed back to Myrtle Beach and to Georgetown to go be back with the fam. And I will say, man, you guys have a deep bench, man. Y'all got y'all got a deep. I just kept hearing, they were putting up the numbers about how much the bench is doing. I'm like, oh God, I wish we had a bench like that.
And here's a good indicator of the bench. Now, Kyrie Mullen, first team preseason all CAA selection comes off the bench.
Yep. Yeah. And he hit what? 13. He had 13 at half, right? Yeah, 13 and a half. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're deep. We're deep. That's how we beat A&T the last time. We just wore you guys down.
Yeah.
There's only 7 of us.
Yeah.
I mean, and y'all are first place in the CAA.
Yeah.
1-0 in conference play.
Well, we got Charleston
Southern, boy. That's the great test.
That's the big game.
University of Charleston. You talking about College of Charleston?
Oh, sorry, College of Charleston. My bad. College of Charleston. January 2nd, 7:00.
Oh, tomorrow. Oh yeah, CAA play starts tomorrow, man. On the men's side, and the ladies start on Friday.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be fascinating to see how they go. Like I think they had you guys last.
Yeah.
On the men's side.
Yeah. It makes sense.
There's no way. There's no way y'all place last in that conference. There's no way.
They were used to what Joyner was bringing, so of course it made sense based upon.
No, I get it. It, but there's no way, y'all. There's no way. No way.
Our bigs were unknown commodities because we lost guys. We lost all the big men from last year except Kyrie Mullen, and those bigs went to P4 schools, a couple of them. Yeah. So I was concerned, like, we're gonna be a very small team, but those bigs are playing well. We got a guy out of Greensboro who's playing, true freshman. He's playing well. We got we got
taking out Greensboro folks. Yeah, I gotta call Coach Ross about this, man. This is getting ridiculous.
we got some connections down there in Greensboro. We do.
Yeah.
Not a bad place to have connections either. They got some good players. They got some big basketball players and some good football players coming out of that city.
Yeah.
Got everything. There.
That game will be on Flow Sports, though.
Yeah, that game. Yeah. So now we are going to have 3 more televised games, I believe. Like every team in the CAA gets 3 televised games on the CBS Sports Network.
Yeah.
And I think A&T is going to end up with 4.
Yeah.
On top of the linear deals that different institutions have. Like I know Hampton's got a pretty good linear deal. A&T has a linear deal.
Yeah.
So there's going to be 5 women's basketball games that are going to be locally on linear television and 4 men's basketball games that will be locally on linear television for A&T.
Hey Jeff, what did we hear? What did we hear about those linear deals? Like we heard those are pretty good deals, right? That's part of the reason why we ain't going back. Right?
Yeah. And this is the wild part. Our AD reached out to us a while back and was just like, this is something that never was given to us at the MEAC on the MEAC level. So, this is pretty big for us.
Yeah, when you're on CBS, man. I mean, quality broadcasts. I mean, it's pretty big time. So
Like
I'm
you
looking
see when they
forward
were
to it.
shooting the free throws, they had a camera in the
Yeah,
actual,
man. Like I see,
yeah,
like Rick, you was at the game, so you probably seen that all the cameras they had, the club
yes,
court, but them things were
yes,
everywhere.
yes,
But it was real. It looked well done because I went back and watched the telecast. It looked well done, man. I was
yes,
so amazed at how well it looked live on television, and you don't get that many opportunities to get a game on CBS. Like
yeah,
they are the standard when it comes to college basketball sports.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Like so to get a game on CBS proper was huge.
Yeah.
And so shout out to the conference for making that happen because I know that was something that the conference office worked on to make happen. So shout out to them with regards to that. Lennon asked the question. I know you got something to say to Lennon before we close out. So just try to keep it PG if you can. So.
No, I ain't got no, I mean, no, I ain't got no issue. It's just that my whole thing is like, why you got to call our little stadium a slave plantation? You know?
I missed that comment.
I missed that one.
Build a bigger stadium. This is my whole thing.
Stadium's fine. We can't.
Stadium is fine.
Stadium's fine.
Stadium fine. I'll tell you this: we own our stadium. We own we own it. We actually make money off our stadium. You know, we high school events are played there. We have a lot of things that come out of there. Economically, it works for us. Your stadium is big. You only fill one section of the stadium. That's like a 4'10" person driving an F-350. It doesn't work. Economically, it works for us. That's why we are Hampton. We have money because we understand how to use our money wisely. You guys just have some big stadium. You know, you only can barely fill up one section. That's with the band included. So just let
that might change now with Vic there. You know, we'll see.
Nobody gonna come to that game.
Wait, that's a Norfolk State person. I can't see.
Yeah, it's Norfolk State.
I would charge the protesters. You know, get their money if you need it. I'm sure you need it. But if you need help, come talk to us. We can help you.
Wait, have you seen Jeff? You saw all the issues they have had with just getting. It takes like an hour to get into that stadium. Like people don't get into it until the second quarter, so they got a whole lot of things to worry about besides Vic, man.
Thank you. So
he can expose things that they don't get it fixed. Actually,
yeah. And you took a majority of our personnel who are now working in your department, the same personnel that got us, on probation. Enjoy.
Oh boy. All right. I'm gonna answer this question and then we're gonna close out the show. Do you think the 26th game against y'all should be a regular home game or for G-Ho? I'm gonna tell you, I don't want it has to be a regular home game. Now that being said, the last visiting band that performed at G-Ho after we put our policy in saying that visiting bands don't come was Norfolk State. But they did like a band blast the night before, which was bananas.
Yeah.
So it was the Legion versus BGMM. So I prefer to just be a regular home game so that we don't have to have these discussions because we're playing South Carolina State at homecoming. I already told their alums that their band ain't coming. I hope you're aware of it. And besides, the last time you played it, you didn't bring your band anyway.
Yeah.
So it's not, it's just so you're aware. Like it's a logistical nightmare for a band to come during G-Ho. Yeah. Like the hotel's already sold out.
Yeah.
Like they're already done. Like the hotels are sold out. You're gonna have to drive 30 to 45 minutes away.
Yeah.
So it's, but some people they'll drive in and drive out, but it's still a logistical nightmare. But all right, let's go ahead and close out the show. Thank you for listening to Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Make sure you share our podcast with your friends and colleagues. We look forward to next week as we discuss the latest news in the lab. I am David Rhodes. Shout out to the Dean of HBCU Sports, Dr. J. Kenyatta Cavil. This is Jeffrey Johnson and Big Reek. Make sure you guys check out the HU Pirate Ship. Make sure you follow them on their website and their personal Twitter handles as well. Jeff Johnson's at Jeffrey Alpha 06. I am at Champ D1012. I don't know your Twitter handle, Tariq.
Yeah, I blew away all my Twitter things. I even blew away the pirate ship.
You did?
I can't be everything. I can't go in there with that Musk freak. And, I can't go on his platform. So I'll take the hit. Sorry, but find me on Instagram, Facebook, Blue Sky, and just come to our website.
Yeah.
All right. Cool beans. Dream big and continue to move forward. We'll talk to you guys soon. Jeff.
Of course.
Reek.
Is it lecture?
That is correct.
Whoa.
Dismissed.
Yeah.
Enjoy the rest of the holiday, guys.
Yep. Enjoy the rest of the new year.
Peace.